Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Club Racing Motorsport UK Mini Championship here on the Project CARS 2 on the PC platform. My name is Buxton. I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race. This is the second week, it's rounds 3 and 4 of this Mini Championship. You can hear the engines roaring in the background. Let's get rid of that so we can see what and where we are. As you can see from the solid, we are at Brands Hatch. It's the Indy circuit we are using, and we are in the Formula Rookies, Formula Forwards as we would recognise them in real life guys. Now last week we had between 3 and 5 drivers. This week we have got 12 drivers currently with us. Hopefully one more joining us. Informed who's running a little bit late. We're in a practice session for the first 10 minutes of the session. It gives me a chance to go through who we have got on track and to give us a little bit of info about them as we go. Okay, we are looking at Scott Thorne representing ClubRacing Trophy. Oh, no, that's not how that goes in the final corner. Now, these cars are good fun, but they can be little devils. They're very rear-wheel, but they are very rear-wheel drive. They are rear-wheel drive. They're very, very light, but that doesn't stop the tail getting very, very live. In my opinion, they are wonderful fun and a great match for the circuit that we are on. So, as mentioned, now I will be kind of skipping between screens. Scott Thorne, as mentioned, representing ClubRacing Trophy. See in the team name under the name at the top of the screen. Now, I'm still going to find some information on Scott. Our new driver sent through some information, same as we had last time around. So Scott Thorne started racing in 2015, a couple of seasons racing in the King-Kodiak Clio 182 Championship. He was a rookie and never raced in karts. After that, he moved to the team manager role, where he ran 2 Clios. I'll try that again. Now run his best friend Craig Arkell, who competes in the Nanking BMW Compact Cup. His actual team name is AT Motorsports. And he's racing this year in the BRSCC Club Sport Trophy. Right, who else can we see? Crispo 77 is Crispin Williamson, who we saw last time out. He did rather well in the championship, you may recall. Fighting towards the front, he was the pole sitter both times out, if memory serves. That's not the button I meant to do, apologies there. The pole sitter both times out, sadly a technical problem prevented him taking part in one of the races, but won the second one. Again, that's from the top of my head, but a little bit of, as a reminder for what Crispin is up to this year. He stepped into the Clio 182 Championship with the 750 Motor Club. Hopefully this will be more of a challenge from his previous racing outlets. He's tested the car twice, got very close to the lap record both times, so very optimistic for when the season does finally start. Mac Racing, now if you may recall, I was a bit tentative on identifying who this gentleman was, but I was actually correct in my identification. And that is Stephen McDonald, or Mac as he's otherwise referred to, hence Mac Racing, representing MSVT Track Day. I will get this right. MSVT Track Day Trophy. Now those are the teams they are representing in this championship as well. As a reminder, this is a practice session, not a qualifying, so it is, these times are an indicator of what we can expect, but not as they won't be what they to expect on track, so to speak. So let's see the information that Stephen McDonald sent me last time around. As a reminder, was planning to be racing in the Track Day Trophy, Track Day Championship, MSVT Super Cup, and 750 MC Road Sports this year in the Honda Civic. Now that's a way to introduce yourself to a fellow competitor. Damage is off for this championship, I will add. So I'm sorry, Mac, we did see that. Damage is off for this particular championship because a number of these drivers are very new to the sim racing world. Some of them are not actually racing on wheels either. There's a couple of people racing on control pads. So as a means to not just completely decimate their race within a very short period of time, we will be having a 15-minute qualifying session after this initial practice. So damage will be off, so there won't be any flying wheels going on in that car. That name does make me chuckle. Fishwick FP is a new driver's has joined it this time around. That is, just look up on my list, that is Colin Dunn, representing the Welsh Sports and Saloon Car Championship, or WSSCC. What information did I get sent for Colin Dunn? Here he is. Right, started racing Club 100 Rookie Endurance in 2013, finished second in that season, picked up the Clio in 2014 and started racing that in the 2015 WSSCC. He built his current Clio 172 Cup for the 2018 season and has taken consecutive Club BT titles with it racing under the Dunn Motorsport banner. He's also finished second overall last year by just 2 points. This year he should be doing select rounds of the WSSCC with the Welsh Racing Drivers Association and the 750MC Burkett Relay. And we get the right rally there. I've also raced bangers with the Bilge Brigade and he marshals at Grimley Oval Raceway. I remember watching banger racing when I was a boy. It's mental, absolutely bonkers. Okay, Jay Daniels is my notes. I'm failing at my notes management, would you believe? Right, Jay Daniels is indeed Jay Daniels. That is an abbreviation, but of course his name is Jay. So he is from the 750 MC Clio 182 squad, as you can clearly see. Information on Mr. Daniels. Right then. Currently races the 750 Motor Club Clio 182 Championship, and this year should be his third season. Will be his third season, of course, when lockdown is dealt with. Before that, he's done 3 meetings with the BRSCC Fiesta Championship as a rival driver with the race car consultants team. Before he got into cars, he'd done 5 years of club karting at Hello Park, Beckles and Red Lodge. Excellent stuff. Welcome aboard. You've done. Of course, whilst I've been talking, they have been setting lap times. Cooper Motorsport is notes. Cooper Motorsport is, again, this is also a reminder for myself, I will add, because this is my first dealing with these particular gentlemen, and they have very kindly allowed me to cover their PC driving antics. I see driver number 13 has joined us. Excellent stuff. This is Gary Cooper representing the MSVT Track Day Trophy contingent. What can I find on Mr. Cooper? I switch through my notes here. Mr. Cooper is someone I do not have a note on. Again, apologies, Gary, if you have sent that through to me and I have not seen it. But 1 and 3/4 minutes to go. Who else can we talk about? We've talked about Matt Cherrington, the person that has joined us slightly late. I do like that livery. I'm a bit of a fan of green, admittedly. Matt Cherrington for the 750 MC Club Enduro squad. And where is my details on Mr. Cherrington? There it is. Right. Started Locust in 2003. Crashed after 100 yards in his first ever race. Raced there for 6 or 7 years before trying a few other things. Raced in the Fun Cup, including Spa 24 hours. He's written 25 hours here. Spa is a wonderful place. Yeah, why not race there longer than is probably necessary? Had a few races in Britcar. Nice. Race in 750 MC Club Enduro in the troublesome BMW, and most recently known for breaking 750 MC Mazda Locus when in the lead. Oh no. Dunlop once gave me a run in the Sport Max Cup, which I got a couple of podiums at Castle Combe. That's actually not far from where I live. And I held the Lotus Cup in Europe lap record at Spa for a couple of years until they changed the tyres, I think. Excellent, welcome aboard, Matt Cherrington. Black Sheep 42, and again, Archimector's sim racing type usernames there. That appeals to my sense. That is Tobias Owen. Toby Owen is the rest of us all, representing the BRSCC MX5 Championship. What do we have on Toby Owen as the practice session? Well, the checker flag is about to fall. There it is on the practice session. Where are we? Let's get Tobias Owen. There we are. Toby Owen, Britain's first ever carbon neutral racing driver. Salute to you, sir. He races in the MX5 Championship, raising awareness of how simple it can be to limit our impact on the environment of going racing. 2019 is his first season of car racing, completed half the season scoring points at Cadwell Park and Silverstone. He also hosts the Tuesday night PC sessions for ClubRacing UK Race Night. Full respect for the carbon neutral effort. So Marky 112233 is Mark Holmes. Now Mark is our PC lobby host. Doesn't do any particular racing from what if memory serves. He was with us last week. He was very much the man in charge of coordinating everything here on the PC side. As the practice session dealt with. So we should have a bit of an idea of a pecking order. Crispin Williamson once again at the top of the tree. With Stephen McDonald closely following, then Jay Daniels. Of course, the joy of having so many new names in the mixture is that it will shake up the order somewhat. Now I've got to figure out who I have talked to here. Scuzzle UK. Okay, Scuzzle UK is... once again, Scuzzle UK is Nick Bailey, representing the 750MC MX5 Club. Nick Bailey, again, scroll through my notes. What have we got here on Mr. Bailey? I do not have any more information on Nick Bailey. So I'm afraid I can't expand on his particular racing antics, but he is welcome nonetheless to this racing endeavour. Ollie Sai, who I kept saying is Ollie Seeger last week, for which I wholeheartedly apologise for. As a reminder, Ollie was with us last week, and as a reminder what he does, he is racing in the Club Motorsport Wild Race Night. Yes, we know that, because we saw him last week. In his first year of racing, he won the MX5 Class M in 2018, as well as some race wins in Class B with the Mark 1 MX5. In 2018, he finished second in the Race of Remembrance 1600 class under Team Rodison. 2019, he stepped up into the Mark 3 MX5 and took another race win plus several podiums. 2019 finished fourth in the 1600cc class at Race of Remembrance plus competed in the Bearcat. At the end of 2018, he went to the Motorsports Days Live at Silverstone and tried the Master Locust, MX5 engine Locust. Not for car so much that he sold the Mark 3 mid-season and placed the order for the Mazda. MA78, I'm saying it's Mazda. This year is due to be racing for the 750 Motor Club Mazda. Once the season gets going, again, he sent me a couple of pictures actually, beautiful white blue livery. Now, the liveries, I will add in the game, have been automatically assigned. There was talk of letting the drivers try and represent their real-life racing cars. The amount of livery choice in-game, whilst fairly varied, is also very difficult to match up to their real-life cars. Is that everyone? That's good. Matt Rivets was with us last time out. I don't think I have any additional information on Mr. Rivet, but I kept calling him Matt Trivet, for which, again, apologies for that. But he is with us at this time. That'll be the last one then. Log Garside is David. It is indeed David Garside, the 750 MC Clear 182 squad. Do I have any information on David Garside? I don't think I do. No, I don't. That is all of our drivers taking part in this evening's festivities and entertainment here at Brands Hatch. So this is the qualifying session going on, and at the moment it is Mr. Garside is getting out of someone's waiting. I'm not sure who that is. Let's just jump on. Oh dear, Mark Holmes in a big old scrap for track position. Oh, that gets a little bit lively. Coming down the hill towards the final turn. He's going to let somebody through. I will get used to who's in what colours. Oh my goodness me. That's Cooper alongside someone going down towards the final turn. Oh, of course, Crispin Williamson has got to the top of the tree. This seems to be a bit of a something we can expect from Crispin Williamson. Very nicely done. Well, actually, now I am going to have to keep referring to my notes to remember who is who. Black Sheep, I've forgotten already. That was Toby Owen. He's chasing someone now. You can slipstream in these cars. Not all that effective, as downforce, as you can see, is not really a thing in these little Formula rookies. The game calls on Formula Rookies, probably for licensing reason. You can quite clearly see they are classic Formula Fords. And wow, 51.502 from Mr. Williamson up top. He means business. He's not messing about whatsoever. And I confess my mind has gone completely blank as to corner Nate. So just grab my map, so that reminds me of what we are dealing with here. As we can quite clearly see, Mr. Owen is still chasing someone, trying to get a bigger hold in the air as he probably can. Downhill from Paddock Hill then into Druid. Oops! A couple of people facing the wrong way. Oh dear, that's Mark was one of them. Who was the other? I wonder. It was Ollie Sy. Mark Evans and Ollie Sy tangling up. Now, these any single-seater in fairness, but these classic single-seaters really do not like getting into locks. They will bounce around. Damage may not be on, but you can certainly do some circus acts in these things. Wow, still no one anywhere near Mr. Williamson in the orange car, representing the 750 MC Clio 182 group. Stephen McDonald, Mac as he's otherwise known. He is the closest, but still 1.3 seconds behind. But look at that pass, second down to 7th. He's only half a second apart. That's a really close from the top to the midfield pack. Mr. Williamson is showing the group how it's done. Absolutely amazing effort there. Very well done to you indeed, sir. As we see Stephen McDonald come over the line. It was Toby Owen. Doesn't like being referred to as Tobias. This is only his mother calls him that one. I can relate. Only my mother tends to call me Christopher when I'm in trouble. And he's pulled over. Let's see what he did about that. Oh, Jay Daniels has just jumped up into second position. And Stephen McDonald's got within a second of Crispin Williamson. Oh, I saw a nice flick of the tail there from Jay Daniels. That's what it looks like down in the trenches as we have to follow our current race leader. Perfect timing. Race leader, our qualifying leader. We have 8.5 minutes to go, and he's got a lot of company ahead of him as he crosses over the line down the Bramble Straight into Paddock Hill then. Such an awkward call of this, and now I did say I rather insisted on them doing 45-degree drifts, and it is a great way of having fun in these cars, and have improved on this time. He chucks it in! My goodness me, we saw him doing that a lot in the touring cars last week. Running against touring cars, front-wheel drive, you really can get some wonderful drifting going on through these things. Graham Hill Ben is where he's just gone through now. Into the Cooper Straight, into Surtees. Don't go up through Pilgrim's Drop. We're using the Indy version. Oops! That's well held, sir. He's going to go on the outside. Oh, no. Too much on the outside. Out of clearways into Clark, and unfortunately he's binned it. He did have a lot of company there, in fairness. Crispin Williamson holds on to the top spot. Stephen McDonald in second position with a 52.380, just over a second behind the mighty Williamson as Crispin increased his time earlier. Does Stephen McDonald with a big old amount of clear road ahead of him. We can actually, let's turn on the map so we can see that's how small the track is, but even still it can get very, very busy out there. Let's ride a lap then. The illuminated dash you can see there. Now Stephen McDonald going for the much more conservative route. We saw Crispin really chucking the tail out of these cars. It's very easy to do. It's not too hard to control in these things. But Stephen being much more conservative, it's certainly working for him. He's currently in second position, and he's increased his gap. Wow, just 200ths of a second. Well, not even that. It's about 13 thousandths of a second between third and fourth at the moment. Brilliant effort there. Little scruffy from Stephen there. Got a little bit lively coming through Clark Curve. The final turn in this race. Does he improve in this time? Nope, he does not. Carrying on nonetheless. Scott Ford up into third position, 152.482 at the moment, with pretty much what must feel like the entire field around him. It is not going to take too long to kind of get very crowded in this race. Stephen McDonald has returned to the pits. He has time to come out and do some more laps. He's a duty to do, but timing is going to be of the essence. Does Scott Thorne improve from that position? He doesn't, but Mr. Black Sheep does. That is... I forgot again. It's Toby Owen. I will remember. 52.168, nicely done. He's at the back of this particular train. And there you saw as he just turned in quite hard. The tails beginning to come around. It's quite easy to catch in these cars for the practice. Whilst it's not necessary to do the sim racing on the steering wheel, you can use a control pad. You can use a keyboard if you so felt like it. I wouldn't recommend it. You can. So that's one of the joys of sim racing. Is it does. One, it gives us something to do in these difficult times that we find ourselves in, but it is really open to all. Project Cars 2, at the time of broadcast, is on special offer as well. So just to make it even more exciting. No improvement on that occasion from Toby Owen as McDonald comes back out on track. Right behind, I think that is Mr. Williamson. Yes, it is. Yes, Crispin. They're not your tyres, get them burnt up as he does some sandcastle building on the exit of Paddock Hill then, and then does some lawn mowing on the other side of the track. He'll be returned to pits more than likely. There's McDonald. There is Matt Ribbett in front position, letting somebody go. Yeah. Not sure who it is he just let past. Oh, Scott Thorne's caught up to Matt Ribbett. Oh, no. The tail's got lively. There's an impact between the two. He's then facing the wrong way. That would be quite a scary moment. Oh, goodness me. New underpants, please, for Scott Thorne. Would have been a little bit go ups, and that's someone else has dropped it on Clark Curve as well. Jay Daniels now in 6th position, 52.548. So close. So close times. Oh, that's someone. So Mr. Williamson stopped again, yes. That's not a great place to try and spectate from, Mr. Williamson, I must be honest. 51.305, very much the benchmark he's put down. He's returned to the pits. Matt Charrington in 9th. Oh, no. Oh, hello. Nicely done. Gary Cooper up into 2nd position with a 52.060. He's in the red one. Great effort there. Whoever it was he was chasing has gotten out of the way. Good effort there. But 3.5 minutes remain for our competitors to improve on their times. We were looking at Jay Daniels earlier. Mr. Fishwick, that is, I remember to remind myself again, that is Colin Dunn. 53.363. A little bit of a gap between 7th and 8th. 8 tenths of a second sound like a lot, but in these cars it really isn't. Someone having a lag problem there. And he's only 300ths of a second. He's less than that. 300ths of a second. That's quite a bit quicker than you can blink. Between himself and the next one down the road, which is Matt Charrington, who has returned to the pits. Again, he still has time to come out and do something this time. Scuzzle UK, that is Nick Bailey. Oh, side by side into Clark. That usually goes wrong, but they actually managed to navigate that quite well. 53.564 on the board for him, sits in 10th position. Comes screaming over the line. There is Matt Ribbett coming out of Matt Charrington coming out of the pits. Yeah, that's not going to be confusing at all. Two people with Matt as their abbreviated name on the scoreboard, but that's a nice problem for you to have. There's Mark Holmes. Marky 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Coming over the line, 53.680. He's over the line with Ollie Sy. Ollie Sy had a bit of a mixture last week. He was one of our few competitors that was with us last time around. Improvement in time but not position. 53.813 on the ball for him now, and finally that is David Garside. He's struggling to get to grips with these guys. A little bit off the pace, but plenty of time to get at one with cars. So not everybody is accustomed to now. I think, if I recall, if we go on the board, I believe it might be Mr. Garside who's on the control pad. Possibly not. I think it is actually Dave Garside who's on the control pad. So, oh dear, that's someone going for a bit of a wander behind them. I mean, that does technically put David Garside at a bit of a disadvantage if he is indeed on the pad. Oops. You can compete against those with the steering wheel. It's not a definitive disadvantage, but it is easier to fine-tune the steering inputs and throttle inputs and what have you with a steering wheel setter. Oops, Matt Rivet has just tangled with someone. I've forgotten who it is that's running that red livery. Oh dear, and someone has had a bit of a spin behind them. It'll be easier for me to track them once we get into the race. There's a 20-minute race, and then the second one will be a random grid 20-minute race with a 5-minute break in between the two. As we are now into the dying seconds. So it was Mr. Cooper, it was Gary Cooper that was running the red livery. I'll get used to them by the end of the race, I'm sure. And goodness me, Crispin Williamson still at the top of the tree by 7/10 of a second from this man. Gary is allowed to complete the lap as he has started it. Quite a few people in the pits, they feel their job is done. He's still out there. Matt Rivet is still going. He's coming into Cooper now. Clark, rather. Cooper curve? No, Clark curve. No. Cooper straight, beg your pardon. Matt Rivet, what does he do? Currently fourth. 152? No, that would be bad here. 52.241. Straight lines into the line. Does he improve? He does not. He remains in fourth position. Scott Thorne, he's already crossed the line. Oh no, that is Scott Thorne, just crossed the line. 52.387, remains in sixth position. Jay Daniels around Clark Curve. What can he do? Currently seventh, 52.548. A lot of people in the 52 second range, so the race should be absolutely fantastic. I have no doubts. Scuzzle, which is... Oh, never mind. The quality session is done. Our grid is set with Mr. Williamson, Crispin Williamson at the top of the tree, and then Gary Cooper in second. Then it is Toby Owen in third position, Matt Rivet 4, Stephen McDonald 5, Scott Thorne 6, Jay Daniels 7, Fishwick, which is Colin Dunn in 8th position, Matt Cherrington 9, Scuzzle, who is... Oh no, I've got Nick Bailey. Nick Bailey in 10th position, Mark Holmes 11, Ollie Side 12, and David Garside at the tail of the field. But it's not where you start that matters, it is where you finish. So once our lobby host hits the button, we will then progress on to race number 1. Hopefully all 13 of our competitors don't have a technical trouble, and we'll have that many people to talk about. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing from that we didn't have last week that we do this time is the team name right in the middle of the screen. We do apologise for that. We didn't have that last week. We had some technical trouble getting the session underway, but we are all up and running well this time around. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before we get into the first races. 20-minute session here at Brands Hatch in the Indy layout, and I cannot wait. I have, however, made a rookie commentator error, and my drink is just out of my reach, so do bear with me just a brief second whilst I grab hold of it. Right, apologies there. Right then. It actually says round 1 of 12 up there. Oh dear, we have lost a few, unfortunately, from our lineup. We have lost 3, sadly. It would seem we have lost... I'm not usually very good at figuring out who it is. We still have Crispin Williamson. We still have Gary Cooper. We still have Toby Owen, Matt Rivet, Stephen McDonald, Joe Daniels, Matt Cherrington, Nick Bailey. I think Scuzzle was Nick Bailey. Just remind myself of that. Yes, it was. Mark Holmes and Ollie Sy. Now, who have we lost? We've lost Colin Dunn. We've lost Mr. Fishwick, sadly. We have lost David Garside. That is a shame. And who is our third one? Who is our third one? I am not entirely sure who our third one is. It is a bit of a shame that we've had a technical trouble there. but we still have 10 competitors that are going to do battle here at Brands Hatch. The lights come on, the engine drives. It is time to wind them up and let them go. Oh, what a hesitant start from the front row. We've got a bit of a lag moment going on there for Jay Daniels. Yes, it was. Coming into the first turn down Paddock Hill then for the first time in anger. That is Toby Owen up into second position. Oh, huge incident from the back. Oh my goodness, Mark Holmes and Stephen McDonald are tangled up. Actually running the same livery. Oh no, Stephen McDonald, Mark Holmes is upside down. Unless he's found a key to recover his car, he will not be removed unless someone cracks him one on the way out. Oh dear. Nick Bailey is managed to get away. Ollie Sy is out completely on his own. Oh no, Matt Rivets flown off the roads. Oh goodness me, chaos in the opening rounds, in the opening laps of this round I should say. But top four, Crispin Williamson, then Gary Cooper, Toby Owen and Jay Daniels have survived the first lap and out. We have lost, I suspect it was the one upside down that we have lost from this race. That's a terrible shame. I think it was Mark Holmes. Yes, Mark Holmes is out. Well, you can, in the sim racing world, you can bind the key to put your car back on its wheels, but you have to do it of your own accord. Not necessarily something you think of, admittedly. On board then with Jay Daniels as we come towards Surtees and Clearways once again. I know Clearways is the straight. Oh, Jay Daniels going for a tighter line coming into the car curve. He's going to try and get side by side with Toby Owen. Oh, wow, very close, very brave racing from the pair of them. Nicely done. He's going to get side by side as well. Has Jay Daniels got the momentum? No, he hasn't. He has to slot behind Toby Owen at the moment. Nicely done, but Gary Cooper now has got himself a bit of breathing space between himself and the warring pair for the final podium spot. Of course, now Crispin Williamson already lapping under 51 seconds. He's going to get into his stride and start to sprint off into the distance. But one mistake is very easy to make and is all it takes to tumble down the order. Let's have a look further down. There's Ollie Sy. Now, he did this last week as well. He was the last of the three qualifiers for the second race. The first race, I beg your pardon, and went on to I think he won it, again, if memory serves. So, it's all one thing, using qualifying and trying to get further up the grid, but this is where you finish. But with the war and chaos going on with our other competitors, Ollie Sy finds himself with a big amount of breathing space, keeping an eye on this battle for third position at the moment between Toby Owen and Jay Daniels. Now, Mr. Owen, Toby Owen, has got himself a penalty. That's why his position marker has gone red. It's a 2-second penalty. I guarantee you he's done that at Paddock Hill Bend. It's very easy to wander off the road and earn a penalty there. Now, three cars in the shot. That is... There's Mr. McDonald. So there's Gary Cooper. So basically the battle for third rather, could well become a battle for second as Gary Cooper is falling back into the clutches of the warring pair behind him. Let's see what the lap times are this time around. 50.8 for Crispin Williamson, 52.1 for Gary Cooper. Now 55.7 includes the 2 seconds penalty that Toby Owen's got for himself, so 53.7. So even still, actually Jay Daniels is the quickest of the three, and that bunch is really closing back up again. So that battle could easily become a battle for second very, very quickly. There is Ollie Sy, as mentioned. There in the background is Matt Rivett. So he's now starting to get to grips. He's here at 52.4 on the board for him and the 53.7 for Ollie Sy. So he's starting to reel him in. We could well have a battle for fifth very, very soon. And then you have got Nick Bailey in 7th position. He's got himself a bit of free air. Himself, Matt Charrington. And Mr. McDonald, get on the tail a little bit lively. Coming through Graham Hill Bend, he's got himself a penalty as well. What's his penalty? Is a single second on the board. So if you wander too wide... Jay Daniels nearly going off the road at Graham Hill Bend. Graham Hill Bend? Paddock Hill Bend, rather. Graham Hill Bend is just down the hill. Goodness me, I knew I needed my track man for something, but look at this great scrap for second now, as Gary Cooper has been caught by both Toby Owen and Jay Daniels. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. Now the exclamation marks on the position on the left hand side are of, oh dear, it's telling me that there's someone close to somebody else. Matt Rivet has gone off Paddock Hill Bend and into the infield, so he's lost that one. And Stephen McDonald is now catching the back of Matt Charrington, so battle for 7th ensuing as well. Oh, here we go. Jay Daniels has been threatening this move for several laps now. Was on the inside of Toby Owen coming into Paddock Hill Bend. Can he get it done? Yes, he can, as the clear 182 racer has gone ahead of the BRSCC MX5 Championship representative. Oh, it drew it, but Toby Owen trying to get the comeback, and he's managed to do it. Gary Cooper kicks up a bit of dust. Oh, he's going to go for the outside around Graham Hill Bend. Can he get it done? Not quite. Nicely done on the roof camera of the black sheep of Mr. Owen. Oh, he's still there, kicking up a bit of dust, coming into Surtees, but Jay Daniels hangs on to the spot, has given Gary Cooper a bit of breathing space in second position. That well fought between Daniels and Owen. I suspect that one is going to go on for a while. And look at this, Matt Rivet. Oh, good do if the camera looked in the right place. There we go. Matt Rivet and Sir Stephen McDonald are now having a fight, and they are getting in a battle as well with Matt Charrington. That's a scrap for 7th position. No, lovely stuff going on. So 2 three-way battles going on. There is Nick Bailey on his own. He's 8 seconds or so ahead of the three-way battle we've just seen, and 4.5 seconds behind the car you've just seen go out of the shot of Ollie Sy. He's 10 seconds, 11 seconds behind the battle for what is essentially a battle for second between Cooper, Daniels and Owen. Just to remind you that Mr. Williamson is still running off into the distance. The only man to lap in the 50s, I think. Let's have a look at the battle for 7th at the moment, on board with Matt Rivet into Druid. There's a few different ways of driving these cars. You can do the more conservative route of keeping all 4 wheels pointing in the same direction, but generally you'll see the slightly quicker drivers get the 4-wheel drift going on. Really seems to be struggling a bit to keep on the back of Stephen McDonald, who's really pressuring Matt Charrington. Goes to the inside on the grass. Can he get the move done? Will he be told to give the position back? He's had 2 wheels on the track, to be fair, and that is up into 7th. Very much elbows out for Stephen McDonald, but does manage to get the position done. It was pretty fair and very nicely done. And this battle is beginning to split apart as well, as Toby Owen is struggling a bit now to stay on the back of Jay Daniels, who is right on the back of Mr. Cooper. Gary Cooper's now going to have some work to do. He's been able to kind of be a distant, I would say, participant, you could say, for the battle for second, but now under all kinds of pressure, as Jay Daniels has built about 1.5 seconds between himself and Toby Owen behind. They're actually lapping at a similar pace to Crispin Williamson 6 seconds down the road. So, now you saw how early Gary went for that inside line, defending the inside line to Druitt. He was not confident that Jay Daniels wasn't going to throw that one on the inside down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend once again into Cooper Straight. As we are very fast approaching halfway in this race, it has absolutely flown by. And the tail end of the field, the 3-row battle going on here. Stephen McDonald has gone ahead of Matt Charrington, and now the 2 Matts are fighting for wooden spoon avoidance. Think about an inside manoeuvre coming towards Druitt. Charrington doesn't defend that one through into 8th position. Goes Matt Rivet, nicely done. Oh, Jay Daniels, very close to Gary Cooper. And Toby Owen hanging on in there. He's a little bit quicker than the Warring Tribes ahead of him. He's just about keeping below a second. Oh, great move from Jay Daniels. Oh, impact between himself and Gary Cooper. Gary hits one of the advertising corners, keeps his foot in it, and hangs on to second. Oh, and Toby Owen, whilst amazed by that move, has flown off the road. Cameraman doesn't know where to look. Oh, goodness me. I suspect he was distracted by the impact between Daniels and Cooper there. And unfortunately, that sent him miles off the road at Graham Hill Bend, but has continued on his way, still in 4th position. He's got himself still a good 10 odd seconds between himself and Ollie Sy. Ollie is going to get company soon from Nick Bailey behind. Cherrington and Rivet at the tail end of the field, still squabbling over the wooden spoon avoidance, but it does look like that Matt Rivet is going to be able to pull away from Cherrington. Oh, and Daniels again having an argument with Cooper. Thinks about an inside line into Graham Hill Bend, doesn't quite get it done. Wow, that was Gary Cooper going quite exploring of the track limits. You can go onto the rumble strip, but if you go onto the dust, you start to lose traction out there. So he does need to be a bit careful on how he does it. On board with Jay. He is really pushing hard for that second position. See how much time that Toby Owen lost. He lost a good 8 seconds at least with that off that he had at Graham Hill Bend. Oh, yeah, look at the opposite lot going on here. Fantastic stuff. Now that car ahead of him is not Crispin Williamson, but he's going to be Stephen McDonald, who's had another moment somewhere with a 1:09 lap time. A few penalties on the board now. 2 seconds for Toby Owen, 1 for Nick Bailey, and 1 for Stephen McDonald. But as you will see from the hand movement from the onboard camera on Jay Daniels' car, is how when you get that four-wheel drift going, it's quite easy to control, but you do have to catch it pretty early. It's definitely the quickest way of getting these cars around the track like this. Gary Cooper parking his car right in the middle of the road, and Jay Daniels is looking around an inside manoeuvre. He's got the traction. Oh no, a punch in the face from Gary Cooper, but does just about keep the car under control. Very nicely done from Jay Daniels. Oh, it looks like Nick Bailey is going to be giving Ollie Sy something to do. And as we're in the second half of the race now, Nick Bailey has been catching Ollie Sy about just over a second a lap the last few laps, so he's now within half a second. There's a definite battle brewing for 5th position. I think that's Nick Bailey that's got himself on the penalty board now. Yep, a second penalty for him. So he's got to overcome that if he wants to hang on to the position. Over the line once again. There you see Stephen McDonald trying to mind his own business. Still the battle for 2nd position wages on. Oh, and already, as I was just about to cut back to Nick Bailey, he's already got the position from Ollie Sy coming through Clark Curve. Now, can Ollie sit in the wheel tracks of Nick Bailey and try and use his momentum? Ollie's a little bit more cautious in these cars than perhaps we saw last week. Not saying he's a reckless driver at all, but he does seem a little bit more cautious in these Formula Ford-like cars. Certainly Nick Bailey has gotten to grips with them. I tell you, out of personal experience in the sim racing world, they are very good fun to drive. Oh, Jay Daniels has made a little bit of a mistake. Yep, he's lost 0.4 of a second off the back of Gary Cooper. There's nothing dramatic in these cars, but being that they're so close in performance can be the difference between making a pass or not. Oh, bit of a lock up there from Cooper. Oh, he's gone under the grass at Druids. This is an opportunity there for Jay to close that gap back down again. Not missing out that opportunity. A little bit wide coming through Graham Hill Bend. Continues to keep the pressure on. His side has pretty much lost the back. Unfortunately not Nick Bailey, but Nick doing a good job in the MX-5 club car. On his way, he's certainly lapping very much the same kind of pace as Toby Owen. Beg your pardon, that's Toby Owen. Yeah. So he is lapping at the same pace. I actually doubted myself as soon as I said it. Oh, has Jay got himself a penalty? Yes, he does. He's got himself a 1 second penalty as well, just to make his life even more difficult in his battle with Gary Cooper. It's very, very easy to do. It's not a reflection on the driver whatsoever. Oops! Well, that's quite some distance off it. Druids there. And the game will give you a warning to slow down if you feel you've pushed your luck a little bit too hard. In fairness, sometimes those ones are a little bit too harsh. and take too long to dissipate. If you back off, you will be able to make the warning go away without incurring a penalty, but there are times when it's just quicker to floor it and get on with it. That's how much time Jay Daniels has lost trying to overcome those penalties. 1.9 seconds between himself and Gary Cooper now, so yeah, he lost 1.2 seconds in that lap alone. And Stephen McDonald will be getting blue flags, but he's not obliged to kind of jump out of the way. Be predictable, I believe, is the ethos these guys are running by as far as putting a lap on someone. We have lost another race, I see. We're down to 8 competitors now, and he does choose to jump out of the way. He is absolutely fine. Oh, what has happened to Jay? He's made a mistake up at Druids. He's fallen miles off the back of Gary Cooper now, and there in the background, the Toby Owen. We have lost another though, and it's one of the Matts. We have Matt Cherrington, it's Matt Rivet, who was the lead of the two Matts, I believe, last time we left them. We've lost Matt Rivet, unfortunately. The technical problem has befallen Matt Rivet as we're in the final 4 minutes of the race now. It's taken till now for our competitors to spread out to a point where no one is battling for a position. That doesn't mean though that the race ends. Oh, Crispin, you've pushed your luck a little bit here. Now you saw he braked very hard as soon as he realised he kind of jumped over the apex. On board with him. Unfortunately, we can't turn the interface off, so I'll just let the driving do the talking. It was still a 51.8, so tried a lap on board with our leader. Tail did not want to go then. Put the speeder on. Again, few uses is not on. Just to give more of our less sim experienced drivers one less thing to think about. Jumps over the apex. He's choosing to not just kick the tail out as much as it's good fun to do. Gary Cooper, 57 that time last time around, so he's made a mistake and he could fall back into the clutches of Jay Daniels before the race is done. That's what Crispin Williamson has been looking at all race long. Gary Cooper has made a definitive mistake. Right behind him, there he is Jay Daniels, and Stephen McDonald has unlapped himself from the second place MSVT Track Day Trophy representative. That far off the back of the top two. Once again, it's Toby Owen. He's going to be too far back to start to fight them again unless one of them makes another mistake. Let's keep an eye on them. Take him over the line. This will be penultimate lap but 1, I'd have thought. 3 laps to go. And you see the proximity warning, the exclamation mark popping up next to Jay's name. Closing back in on Gary Cooper. Okay, Stephen McDonald again. Another one of the shot. Jay Daniels has been absolutely flying. And again, it's just those little mistakes that propel you off the road are often very difficult to come back from. Could well span another fight for second position before the checkered flag will fall. Nick Bailey very much on his own, same on the side. Jerrington with one remaining map in the race, and Stephen McDonald at the tail of the field, trying to mind his own business, but he's being hounded by this Gary Cooper character. Penultimate lap then. There's Crispin. He's coming through Cooper. Now he's going to start the penultimate lap. The way that it works in Project CARS 2, much as anywhere else, when the race time has expired, then the checkered flag falls, and just from when the leader then crosses the line, the race is dictated as over. Nice four-wheel drift going on there from Mr. Williamson. Oh, here we go again. It's Daniels and Cooper having a scrap for second position again. With Stephen McDonald right in the way now. Stephen was very good at getting out of the way. Will likely do so again. Oh. Well, he went a little bit too wide, just dipped away along the grass, and has let Gary and Jay through once again. These two come through. Druids and down the hill towards Grain Hill Bend again. Flag is about to fall towards McLaren. Well, Surtees Bend. Small turn here is called McLaren. Onto Clark Curve once again. Oh no, Gary Cooper's made a mistake! Gary Cooper's made a mistake coming into that final turn. Now Jay's got a penalty, he's got a 1 second penalty. He has to get himself a 1 second gap, which at the moment he's got. But the checker flag is awaiting this man. Oh, and that, I assume, is on his side. Yes, it is. That was getting out of Crispin Williams' way. Now then, the pressure's very much on Jay Daniels. At the moment, Gary's actually closed that gap back within a second. And of course, if Gary earns himself a penalty, or if Jay earns another one, that's not going to work. But your winner in the first race here at Brands Hatch Indy, and he's quite pleased about that, I would say, is Crispin Williamson. Very nicely done, representing Club 750 MC Clear 182 squad. But this battle for second continues to rage on, and Gary's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Jay Daniels within that second towards him. Jay's going to cross the line in second, but due to the penalty, he is going to drop to third. Gary Cooper is going to inherit that second position. Nicely done. Well played, gentlemen. There we go. There it is confirmed. So Gary Cooper for MSVT Track Day Trophy Team in second. Jay Daniels for 750 MC Clear 182 in third. So they have two representatives on the podium. Then it is Black Sheep Toby Owen for the BRSCC MX5 Championship in fourth position. Nicely done. Nick Bailey crosses the line. He's actually the last car on the lead lap. That's why we switched to this screen. So Nick Bailey takes the fifth position for the 750 MC MX5 Club. And then Ollie Sai for 750 MC Masters. Seventh was Matt Charrington for the 7MC Club Enduro team. Then eighth was Stephen McDonald for MSVT Track Day Trophy. And sadly we lost quite a few, didn't we? Mark Holmes is listed as having retired, as he did start the race. Right, there's going to be a little bit of a break, 5-minute break or so, between this and the next round. But what an amazing race! I think you'll all agree we had this time around. So, one thing I can show you before we cut away is that is how the points are going to be played out. It's essentially the modern day Formula One team point scoring. And there we go. That's how our podium 3 stood. Unsurprised. Yeah, surprise was no one that Crispin Williamson was the one with the fastest lap. At the end, that's how it looks for the teams. That's the points that have been scored this time around in this Interclub Championship. Right then, time for a break, but don't go anywhere, because the second race is going to be equally, if not more, hot and contested than the first. So stick with us, and we'll be back with you as soon as we can. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth round, second race here at Brands Hatch Indy for the Club Racing UK Inter-Club Championship. As a reminder, my name is Chris Buxton. I'll be your commentator for this second race. Now, we do have a 10-minute qualifying session, but, however, it's going to be done a little bit differently because what we're going to do here is a reverse grid. I thought it was random grid. It's actually a reverse grid for this second race, based upon the race results from the race we have just witnessed. We have lost, I believe Matt Rivet hasn't made it back to us. We have one Matt Harrington. Yeah, Matt Rivet sadly not able to continue. So what's going to happen is our drivers are going to be called out of the garage one at a time to set a lap time. To basically essentially do a slowish lap, but to force the game into making a grid. Unfortunately, you can't force the game to make a reverse grid. So what we're doing this time around is making a qualifying grid so that we end up with a reverse grid for a standing start last time around. First one out of the blocks is Mark Holmes, very closely followed by David Garside. We lost them pretty early on. David is standing aside, interestingly. Mark is going to continue down the road. So this will look very strange. Of course, this wouldn't happen in a real-life racing situation. Everybody's coming out of the garage and they're going to basically sit and wait until their names are called by Herr Governor Mr. Holmes, and then they're going to do a formation lap, cross the line so that a time is set, and then that will form the basis of our reverse grid. So Mark is going to be calling out everybody from the garage. Mr. Williamson will, of course, be starting from the back of the field, as he was pretty comfortably in the lead. However, he now has got a reverse grid situation to deal with, and with the standard grid we had someone upside down, so it's going to be interesting to see. There is David Garside just holding along as ordered, so Matt Harrington right behind him. So they did finish the race, bear in mind. Oh, don't put your brakes on! Oh. I think Mr. Garside's been that woke him up slightly as he rolled backwards into Matt Harrington. So Mark, now Mark has got, is that Stephen McDonald? Yes, so Stephen McDonald is directly behind him. They're actually wearing the same livery, that's why they're both in that black and blue livery. Cars 5 and 6 of that livery. We don't represent the same club, as you can see. Mark is our lobby host for this set of PC races. Steve McDonald representing the MSVT Track Day Trophy Squad. So if we put the map on, you'll see that most people are, well, about half the grid has come out of the pit. You can see the pit indicator next to people's names in the pits currently. And you can see now, coming down towards Graham Hill Bend is where those that have had their name called out will now be coming along. So Jay Daniels is coming through paddock here, up towards Druids. Jay in an amazing scrap with Gary Cooper. That's Mr. Williamson, I suspect. Yep, that's Crispin Williamson, who's got out of the pits. I'm still waiting for Colin Dunn and Scott Thorne to come out of the pit. I'm not sure why they're still sat there, but they remain nonetheless. Mark is forming the grid on that back straight. Did we lose? Oh no, Scott Thorne's on the move now. I think we lost Colin Dunn, didn't we? Yes, we lost Colin before the race began, so they may well be starting at the back of the field as a result of that. There goes Colin. So a technical problem denied their participation in the last round. Filter forward now, so they've got another 6 minutes to cross the line. Otherwise, basically, if they don't set a time, they will start in the order that they currently sit in. So, which I'm sure, I'm sure Toby Owen would quite like that, because he would start on the pole. Mark Holmes would start at the back, and our race winner would start in ninth. So it looks like Crispin is going to be starting in ninth with those that didn't finish the race behind them. There's Jay Daniels. Now the clock hasn't started ticking yet, so it's not a case of
they've got to cross the line. Their lap times haven't officially started yet. They need to cross the line before they're doing that. That's why they're forming the grid, quote unquote, before they cross the line. Because as soon as they cross the line is when the actual lap time starts to tick down. Oh, that's was that Ollie Sy? No, it's not Ollie Sy. Stephen McDonald. Okay, a little bit too close to Mark Holmes. Right, now they've all formed. So Mark Holmes at the front of the field. We will have Colin Dunn at the back, near the back. It looks like Colin does actually pushing Scott Thorpe. There is one behind them. Not really sure who is at the back of the field. So Mark Holmes is giving him instruction just to be very, very slow. The timing line is at the bottom of the hill there. So Mark now crosses the line, so his lap time has officially begun. And this is an experiment. This is a method that Mark Holmes has tested to try and form the reverse grid. They know what grid they're aiming for. Someone is in trouble at the back of the field. Who is back there? Oh, it's David Garside. Had a bit of a difficulty. He's fallen off the back of the field. They've got 4 minutes to resolve it now. Now Mark has now gotten underway. Like I said, what they're aiming to do is make the qualifying session form the reverse grid. Now I do have a method of doing this, but it forces a rolling start for the way that I had in mind, for a method I've tried before, and it's fine if you want a rolling start, but if you don't, and I personally am more a fan of a standing start, then this is the better way of doing it. Oh, Mr. Holmes. Because the tyres are going to be absolutely freezing cold. Now what he can do, now that the field's spread out a little bit, he can absolutely floor it. Now he's going to set a time, 1:18. Problem is, and now he's jumped back to the pits. So McDonald comes across the pits. So they're setting their time and jumping back to the pits to ensure that they don't beat each other and end up at the wrong place. There's Matt Charrington in third, so he'll jump back to the pits very shortly. Ollie Sy, here's the fourth. Next over the line is going to be Nick Bailey. And this was the result of testing. Now, a lot of testing was done in between last week and this week to iron out the problems. So Nick Bailey goes and builds some sandcastles. Toby Owen is going to take the 6th position spot. Jay Daniels, very closely followed by Gary Cooper. Crispin Williams, our winner last time out, and then those that didn't see the race, or just certainly didn't. Well, they didn't finish the race, I don't think. Scott Thorne and Colin Dunn. I suspect David Garside is asked to start at the tail of the field because he was with us. He didn't finish, but he started the race, so I suspect David Garside is asked to start at the tail. But he'll cross over the line. That will force him to start at the back of the field. And there we go. Our grid is formed. Mark Holmes is going to be our pole sitter for the second race. I sadly didn't see him. Steve McDonald for MSVT Track Day Trophy. He's going to complete the front row with him. And then it is going to be Matt Charrington for 750MC Club Enduro. Number 7 car, Ollie Sy for 750 MC Mazdas, the 98 car. Then it is going to be, I've forgotten again, goodness me, my memory, Nick Bailey for 750 MC MX5 Club, Taylor number 74 car. And then Toby Owen for BRSCC MX5 Championship, also in the 98 car. As a reminder, the liveries were randomly assigned, they did not choose them. Joe Daniels, the 750 MC Club 182 squad, is going to take the 7th position alongside Gary Cooper. What an amazing fight they had, and I hope we see much more of that. Gary Cooper for MSVT Track Day Trophy. Then the winner, the 750 MC Clear 182 representative, of Crispin Williamson. Scott Thorne for Club Sports Trophy is going to take in 10th position. Someone's left the pits, that won't make any real difference. Colin Dunn, we didn't see him last time around, so hopefully we'll see what he's able to do. He's going to take the 11th spot. It's David Garside that's decided to come back out and track. That's fine. He can have a little practice if he so chooses to. He's probably accidentally left the pits. As a reminder, some of these drivers, quite a few of these drivers are actually new to Project Cars, new to sim racing. Even my dog is joining in. So we can forgive them small incredulities such as that. So the grid is formed. Now, hopefully, we won't have any. We won't have a repeat of the technical issues that occurred. I suspect what some of them did was hit this big red button, which very unfairly bins them out of the session. And I've done it myself. I've been caught up in the heat at the moment. You do an amazing qualifying session, you hit the big red button just because it's appeared, and you've now left the session, you can't rejoin the race. So my dog is agreeing in my disgust of that particular motion. Apologies if you can hear him. So now we just have to wait until we end up in the race. Do we have 12? We have 12! Yes, we do. All 12 drivers made it. Fantastic. There was nothing worse, and sadly, sim racing world does have bugs to deal with. No racing sim out there is perfect. They all have their own quirks and qualms and troubles. There's nothing worse than being binned out of the game in between qualifying and the race. But never mind about that. All 12 have made it. So what goes on in this session is a 2-minute time allocation for what would normally be allowed for setup changes, pit stop strategies and things like that. Not needed. They're all on a fixed setup, but that 2-minute session happens. Anyway, right then, race number 2, 20 minutes, led by Mark Holmes. Wind them up and let them go. It's a steady start from the front. It's a belting start from the third row. Oh, this is going to get tasty as we come up and through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Stephen McDonald has flown through into the lead. Grace Upperman. Oh no, we've got backwards there, Jay. That's Toby Owens. And is that Jay Daniels? Yes, Jay Daniels. Oh no, Jay Daniels and Toby Owen came together. Oh, that's Gary Cooper. Oh no, he's had his own incident back there. Oh my goodness me. And Stephen McDonald as well, after such a great start, has binned it completely on his own. Oh no, oh my goodness, back up to the front. Nick Bailey now leads in all that mayhem going on. Mark Holmes too, Matt Cherrington up to third. Behind him is Scott Thorne then. Oh no, that's Scott Thorne going for a bit of grass cutting on the inside of the final turn. Oh no, he's had to go backwards. He's lost several positions. That's elevated Colin Dunn up into 4th position. He's been chased by Ollie Sy. There is Crispin Williamson up into 7th position with that scrap for 4th going on right ahead of him. Jay Daniels now up into 7th position. Right with him is Toby Owens. And into the pits. Odd decision there from David Garside. There's no damage. So I wonder if he's had... Oh, he's had a technical trouble. He is out. David Garside is out of the race. That is a shame. He's not having a good day here at Brands Hatch. 11 runners survive. McDonald chasing Gary Cooper. But, wow, look at that. Nick Bailey. It's such a shame we didn't see him first time around. He's having a whale of a time out there. Then Mark Holmes. Then there's Almighty Scrap. Look at this. Side by side. 2 cars up front. That is Dunn and Cherrington, I think. Yep, that's Colin Dunn on the inside of Matt Cherrington, 4th, 3rd position. Oh, bit of a touch there. There's Ollie Sy trying to get involved. That's followed by Cherrington round. Whoa, Crispin Thomas, I did it again. Crispin Williamson locking up. They're coming into that first turn. Matt Cherrington all the way down to 6th. Oh, and then has a lock up himself at Druids. Does manage to continue though. Oh, Crispin Williamson. He's managed to overtake Matt Cherrington. Didn't quite see the gap. Oh, no, he hasn't. It's side by side with Matt Cherrington on the exit of Druids. Now cuts back underneath him from Great Mill Bend. Can he get the position? Yes, he does. And that is 4th position then to the race winner from last time out. Well, he's multiple race winner in this series. Oh no, Colin Dunn's left the door open. He's bounced off of. Well, Crispin's managed to continue. Colin Dunn has just about recovered from that. Matt Cherrington goes through into 4th position, but right behind them is Toby Owens. Owen. I keep saying Owens. My apologies.
Jay Daniels now up into 6th position. He's right with Colin Dunn. Having a fight for the same as the summer. Oh, Colin's a little bit wide coming into Panagill Bend. No, Jay Daniels can't quite get the traction where he needs it. Up the hill and towards Druid. And he dives to the inside line. Does Colin know he's there? The camera's looking the wrong way. And just about Colin Dunn. Oh, was that an instant further down the hill? No, it wasn't. I thought there was an issue there. Crispin Williamson now up into 3rd position. Oh, there's a further. Is that Daniels has gone off? Yeah, it was indeed. Jay Daniels has gone off. And coming through the shark, that's Colin Dunn that's just been overtaken by Toby Owen. Oh my goodness me. It's a good problem to have when you don't know where to look as a commentator. That's Matt Charrington chasing Crispin Williamson, along with Mark Holmes is still in 2nd, but way off in the distance is Nick Bailey for 750 MT-MX5 Club. But further down the field is Stephen McDonald and Gary Cooper. Well, Gary's not having such a good run whatsoever. Nobody had that amazing fight for 2nd last time around, and Mark Holmes has lost the spot at Druids for 2nd. To Crispin, apologies for the cough, to Crispin Williamson. There's Matt Charrington in 4th position, trying to hang on to the back of Mark. Well, now Crispin is released. We saw him getting into the 52nd lap times last time around. Oh, he's had a slowdown warning here. He's off the gas. Now he's gone back on it. That's allowed Mark Holmes through. Where's Charrington? There goes Matt Charrington. So again, the game was not happy with the line he was taking, and that's cost Crispin an opportunity to try and roar off after Nick Bailey. He's now going to overtake Charrington and Holmes again. Behind them once again is Colin Dunn and Toby Owen fighting for 5th position. Behind them, Scott Thorne and Jay Daniels having a scrap for 7th. Goodness me. Then the tail end of the field. Oh my goodness, that is Ollie Sy and Gary Cooper having a scrap for 9th. Oh, actually, I went on board with at the wrong time there with Stephen McDonald. As he'd already made the move on Ollie Sy, who's now demoted to the wooden spoon position. He's now acting as a great camera car for the Battle Flynn himself and Gary Cooper, Stephen McDonald and Gary Cooper, I should say. He jumped on board with Matt Charrington. Oh, Williamson has already gone past Mark Holmes for 2nd place. Whilst I was looking where the and apologies for not catching that one. Look at Williamson, he means business. We know how fast he is. And oh, that was a big old moment there for Mark Holmes behind him. You see there's still several cars that are, you could say, are out of position. Scott Thorne still chasing Jay Daniels for 7th place. McDonald and Cooper still close together. Oh, Ollie Sy's had a problem. Oh, he's still off in the dust. He's struggling to get that car back on the road, but there he goes. He's flown off the road at the first bend. That's Nick Bailey. Oh, wow, big sliding moment there for Bailey. But Williamson is wanting to gain that 5.5 seconds gap. He was a 2nd quicker than Bailey last time around. On board with Toby Owen, he's now caught the back of Matt Charrington and Mark Holmes as they battle for the last podium spot. Charrington on the inside coming through the Grand Prix bend. Here comes Toby Owen. Oh, very close to Mark Holmes, who's lost 2 positions in 2 corners. What a great recovery there for Toby Owen. We saw him having that huge incident out, demoting him to nearly last on the opening lap. He now finds himself staring at potentially 3rd position. Matt Charrington just following his racing line. If we go on board with Mark Holmes, we'll have a great view of Toby Owen. There he is, going to the inside line, going towards Panagill Bend. Can he get it done before he gets there? He does. He actually gets it done before he stands on the brakes, but has that forced him to? Why, Mark Holmes? Oh my goodness. Has overcooked the rear tyres and gone onto the grass. But Colin Dunn is not quite close enough to capitalise on that, but that's going to put Colin Dunn in a good position to attack Mark Holmes. There's Jay Daniels trying to do something to recover. Oh dear, that's a very slow Scott Thorne coming through Druids. But keeping an eye on Matt Charrington. Can he
hold on to the back of Toby Owen. Moment, he's doing okay. Pressure on for that third position. Oh wow, now Crispin Williamson's going to have some company up there in the 51 club. There is his, that's his, no, that's not his quarry, I beg your pardon. That's a lap runner, that'll be Ollie Sy. Oh, look at the four-wheel drift going on from Crispin. Once again, he's having a whale of a time. He's got 11.5 minutes to close in at 3.6 seconds between himself and Nick Bailey, who currently leads the way. Jay Daniels is looking at a wonderful fight between Colin Dunn and Mark Holmes. Colin Dunn tries the outside manoeuvre. No, cuts back underneath. And Graham Hill bend, nicely done. Mark Holmes unfortunately falling to the field. That is the sad reality of the reverse grid. You are likely to be overtaken by faster cars, but Mark doing what he can to fend off Jay Daniels. Coming into Clark Curve once again. Oh, Jay Daniels nearly diving on the inside of Mark Holmes. Mark left the door open a little bit. There goes Daniels now into 6th position. There at the bottom of the shot is that'll be Toby Owen and Matt Cherrington. And that's Jay Daniels comfortably up into 6th position now. Mark trying to hang on to the coattails of Jay Daniels. Scott Thorne did gain a little bit of time on Mark Owens last time around, and checking in with Stephen McDonald and Gary Cooper. They're continuing their battle, and Ollie Sy's day has gotten even worse. He's now a lap down. There is Nick Bailey, but he is being caught, and quickly, by this man, Crispin Williamson. There is his quarry. He now has his target inside. 52.6 from Nick, last time around 51.5 from Williamson, and that's how he does it. Just throws the nose into the apex of Paddock Hill. Then he will probably do the same up here. Andrew is there. He goes, just kicks the tail out, gets the throttle going to kick the tail out, get the car rotated, and he will be with Nick very, very soon. But Matt Cherrington's doing a good job of keeping up with Toby Owen. That battle for third is not resolved. Oh, look at that in the background. That's Colin Dunn and Jay Daniels. Jay was ahead of Colin, I think, coming into Druids, but sadly that did not work out for Jay at all, for Colin, rather. Mark Holmes is still in the mixture. There's Scott Thorne actually closing in on Mark. Oh, so many great battles going on. We're already over halfway, and now we get the proximity warning for Crispin Williamson. Another 51 flat, nearly in the 50s for his lap time. He's less than a second behind Nick Bailey, who tries to kick the tail out. A little bit overdone. That's going to give Williamson an opportunity to get side by side. Can Nick Bailey defend coming into Graham Hill? Bailey tries it, forces Crispin wide, but Crispin Williamson flies on the outside of Graham Hill bent to take the lead. Very nicely done. We've got a couple of penalties on the board. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Can Nick Bailey trying to get on the inside coming through the McLaren, but can't quite do it. Not there at least. We get on the nose of Nick Bailey's car. Crispin Williamson's going to be a very, very difficult man to keep up with. He's really got to grips with how Project CARS 2 works. He was a race winner last time out in the Renault Megane. He was a race winner in these Formula Fords. That's one of the rookies as they're referred to in the game. Oh, a big banzai move there from Nick Bailey on the inside of Druids, but that's gone horribly, horribly wrong. And that has put him way over into the dust. He's going to really struggle. He's going to have to reverse to get away from the wall. And you'll see, and there he is, looking on the nose cam of Toby Owen. Oh no, it's all gone horribly wrong for Nick Bailey into third position. My goodness, how quickly it all changes. Ooh-wee, but not done yet. We still have just under 8 minutes to go. Toby's going to have to defend hard from Nick Bailey. Matt Cherrington in there as well. He's got a great ringside seat for the battle ahead of him. And then Crispin Williamson now can just dance off into the distance. There you can see on his side. He's going to be caught up as collateral as well in this. Now Nick Bailey side by side with Toby Owen rather. Oh no, there was contact between the two and Owen's off. Toby Owen is off. Oh no! There goes Jay Daniels is through. Oh no, what a great shame. Where is he? There he is, just recovering the track. Mark Holmes has gone through. Oh, that's such a great shame for Toby Owen. Down into 8th position. Let's have a quick look at what the penalties are. 1 second apiece for Scott Thorne, Mark Holmes and Toby Owen. That's how quickly it can all change. Matt Charrington trying his best to hang on to the back of Nick Bailey, but Nick is quick. He is very quick in these cars. I mean, no disrespect to any of our drivers, they're all doing brilliantly well, taking part in this championship. But these may well be light powered cars. They are fairly easy to control, but they're also very easy to lose control of. Especially when you start trying to tangle with one another. Very close to Matt Charrington. He's looking at a potential podium here. There's Nick Bailey. Ollie Sy is going to get a lot of company he doesn't want. Shame for Ollie Sy. He had a decent run last time out. There's Nick Bailey trying to find a way through. Ollie's just minding his own business, which is absolutely correct. They just need to be predictable. They don't need to necessarily jump wildly off the line. Ollie's going to try and sit in the tyre tracks of Nick Bailey, and why not? Nothing stopping him from doing that. Oh, Mark Holmes is off! Mark Holmes has gone off. That's a Clark. That's at the final turn. Oh my goodness, his race has just gone from bad to disastrous. There's Gary Cooper. Oh, wow, that was incredibly close between Mark Holmes and Gary Cooper. Gary just about lives to fight another day. Steve McDonald's actually now giving the recovering Toby Owens and company in what is now battle for 7th position. Let's check further up. Jay Daniels now is really putting the pressure on Matt Charrington for the last podium spot. There at the top of the shot you can see Nick Bailey trying to get back into his rhythm. Ollie Sy unfortunately caught right in the middle of the entire pack. We've only got less than 5 minutes of the race to go. What a race it's been. Whoa, Ollie Sy trying his best to get the tail to behave itself. And that's how quickly you can lose the back end. He's off into the dust. That's Paddock Hill Bend and through on the inside. That was enough to put Matt Charrington slightly off his stride. And Jay Daniels seizes the opportunity up into 3rd position for the 750 MC Clear 182 representative. Or one of, I should say. It doesn't look like Matt's going to let that one go. Behind them, Colin Dunn and Scott Thorne continuing their fight for 5th place. And then not too far behind them is Stephen McDonald and Toby Owen with an out of place Ollie Sy literally right in the middle. What can Matt Charrington do? Can he attack Jay Daniels back? Had a bit of a steady race last time out in these cars in the first race, but it looks very much set to try and keep Jay Daniels company. Nervous to get the tail end to come out, it would seem. Bailey is now back into his rhythm, although last time around Jay Daniels ever so slightly, I mean 400ths of a second quicker than he was last time around, but there is 2.5 seconds between them with only 3.5 minutes left. There is Crispin, he's just crossed the line. We've got about 4 laps or so left of this race, and absolutely nothing other than himself can stop Crispin Williamson at the moment. Matt doing what he can to hang on to the back of Jay Daniels. Colin Dunn doing what he can to hang on to the back of Scott Thorne. He's had a... we didn't we saw Scott last time around. He was one of them. I don't think we saw Colin either to a great degree. They're actually in a quite a long train rather. Here is Toby Owen staring at the back of Stephen McDonald. They must have swapped round. I'm sure they were the other way around last time. 51.3 from Stephen McDonald. Wow, he really has got to grip with these cars. Probably a little bit late in the day. He's really now showing some pace now, giving Colin Dunn something to think about. They come into Graham Hill Bend rather. There may have been a tiny nudge in between the 2 cars on board with Toby Owen in 8th position. A lovely scrap going on for
racing between the 2 and 3 cars. Oh no, tangle between McDonald and Colin Dunn. That's where Johnny Herbert, I think, had his massive accident in his 2 days or something on the line. Oh no, that completely broke up that fight. It was a great shame. There's Gary Cooper, hasn't been able to capitalise on that particular coming together. McDonald is now going again in 8th position. Colin Dunn up and running in 7th. Is rather gifted, you could say. 6th place to Toby Owen. And Scott Thorpe still minding his own business in 5th position, doing what he needs to do. Quick penalty check, still 1 second. Ollie Sy, Mark Holmes. And Scott Thorpe, I think, has added his name to the penalty board. Last time we looked, it was just 3 of them. Matt is still getting the proximity warning, but he is falling back from. It's not a warning, it's just an indication to me as the camera controller. We have 2 cars close to one another, but Shenton is losing time very slightly all the way. Gained 5 thousandths of a second on Jay Daniels last time around. Crispin Williamson, only 2 men in the 51s all race long, has been Williamson and Nick Bailey. And again, just mistakes, denied Nick Bailey. Well, I mean, he had a brief coming together with Crispin. He made that move. It wasn't really coming together. Nick made the move to try and regain the lead from Crispin into Druids. That's what all completely undid itself. At least he's back up into 2nd position. Maybe a small consolation for him, I'd have thought, as the checker flag will fall this time around. It's just lovely style from Crispin there. Toby Owen's beginning to get into range of Scott Thorne, but not enough to challenge the position as Matt Cherrington is in danger of falling out of range of Jay Daniels. We'll keep an eye though on Williamson as the checker flag will greet him next time around. You see the timer is just about to expire into the Clark car for the final time. The checker flag is now out. It's going to be 3 on the trot. He won the 2nd race last time. He was binned out, unfortunately, had technical trouble in the 1st race, and there he goes. He has now crossed the line, takes an advertising order with him. Your winner for the 2nd time in this evening's race is Crispin Williamson. 2nd is going to be Nick Bailey. Goodness me, what a gap it was towards the end. But for the 750 MC MX5 Club representative, it is Nick Bailey takes 2nd. Jay Daniels holds on to 3rd. Matt Cherrington did what he could, but couldn't retake the blue car, so he will come home in 4th. Scott Thorne, oh, side by side. My goodness, that was close. I think it was only about a 10th of a second between Scott Daniels, mixing up names now, Scott Thorne and Toby Owen. McDonald crosses the line in 7th, and then a big gaggle of cars. I didn't even get through them before the session officially ended. So your official race result then, and once again, fastest lap goes to Crispin Williamson. Very nicely done. Then Nick Bailey 2. Lots of 750 MTs at the top of the tree. Then Jay Daniels 3. Matt Cherrington 4th. Excuse me, I'm sneezing, that's why I'm having to unmute the microphone. Oh, excuse me. So Jay Daniels 3, Matt Cherrington 4. Scott Thorne in 5th position, just about. Had it not been for both cars having that 1 second penalty, it would seem that Matt Owen, goodness me, I'm doing it again, Toby Owen would have taken that 6th position. Then Steve McDonald in 7th, Colin Dunn 8, Gary Cooper 9. Goodness me, he was fighting for a podium last time out, and he finishes in 9th. Mark Holmes in 10th, Ollie Sy 11th. Sadly, we lost. Who did we lose? It was David Garside early on in the race. And there's your podium finishers. That's how the points have been distributed. 25 right the way down to 1. As in Formula 1 tradition. That's how the team's distribution has gone for this race. It does say round 2, it's actually round 4. So the 750 MC Clear 182 squad taking the big haul of points. As not all of these clubs have more than one representative, we'll also add. Some of them only have one car racing for them, so the team's championship could well be tad one-sided. But this is now how it looks. Crispin Williamson, 2 from 2 for this particular event. The points total is correct. The points total does reflect last week's races as well. So Crispin Williamson with a mighty lead now. Ollie Sai did take a win last time out. Unfortunately, it's not reflected in these stats. But he did take a win. Oh, he was one of the highest ranking slots from last week's race. Then Stephen McDonald. Mark Holmes 4. Jane Anderson 5. Nick Holmes. Nick Holmes, I'm so sorry. I'm muddling up everybody's names. Nick Bailey, I beg your pardon. So most of these people with only a single result, or certainly only tonight's results. There's Gary Cooper sharing the 20 points position with Toby Owen. Terrington. Sadly, we didn't see Matt Rivet for that last race. And Scott Thorne, Colin Dunn, and David Garside. That is going to wrap up this evening's race. Oh, we didn't look at the team standings. I do apologise there. We'll get a look at that next time out. So thank you very much for joining me for this incredible racing going on at Brands Hatch. We will be back next week for the third round, or the third track, which is going to be, let me just double check what it's going to be next time around. It's Silverstone. Oh yes. Now the car is not decided. The car changes every single week, and the car is not announced until until we actually get to the decision. I don't know what it is. The drivers don't know what it is. The organizer does, but he's the only one that knows what it is going to be. So yeah, it's going to be quite dramatic, I think, no matter what we throw at it. But it has been an amazing set of races. Hopefully we get a few more drivers between then and now. But thank you very much for joining me, and we hope to see you next week for Silverstone. Until then, thank you very much, and good night.